Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Easy Trimester here. It's a chilly Saturday afternoon and I just got finished putting together the dual brake system setup for my 77 Yamaha XS500, and I wanted to share what it's comprised of, how I got it all together, how I bled the system. So let's take a look. So here it is. I've got dual calipers set up. They're single piston calipers. I ordered these from Mike's XS. They are grabbing onto some slotted rotors off an Yamaha XJ Seika. Now the steel braided line setup I went with is Goodridge lines, and I'll include a link in the description for some of this stuff here so you know where to get it from. But the Goodridge lines are ones that I've used for 15 years and I absolutely love them. Also the fact that you can get them blacked out, the line and the banjos themselves. Now the master cylinder here I ordered on eBay. It's used. It's off a 2017 Yamaha FZ07. That bike stock has dual piston, dual caliper. So much more than this bike is asking for from it. So it's plenty of braking power. So as you can see here, I have a straight banjo threaded to a Goodridge line, comes down here to a 35-degree bend. On a lower banjo I've got the dual banjo bolt. I've got another 35-degree bend, and I'm running this line up and over to the other caliper, like so. Now, bleeding the system was especially difficult for two reasons. The first being, these are brand new calipers and brand new lines, so all they had in them was air, no fluid at all, nothing to start with. It was just from zero going forward. So there was a lot of work to do in that area. Also, the fact that the line runs from one caliper to the other is going to retain a lot of air right here in the top. So doing your typical pump up and open the bleeder and all that stuff didn't really do anything at all. I mean, at one point very early on, I had fluid in the master cylinder and fluid coming out of either bleeder, but no pressure. So air was hiding somewhere. So I did a little bit of research, and I found a YouTube video. I think the company or dealership or shop is called Hill County or Hill Country Choppers. I'll include their link as well. But what they did is they took a syringe and a line, a hose, if you will, and plugged it into the bleeder, opened the bleeder, and forced fluid into the caliper, and therefore fluid and air would go up into the master cylinder. Now they were doing it on a dual brake setup that had basically two lines, one from each caliper going up to the master, different than what I'm running. So I tried their setup, and it really didn't do much as far as pushing fluid into the caliper and pushing air up to the master cylinder. So I reversed the process and I did this. So as you can see, that's pretty effective because I didn't have the master cylinder open at the top. I wasn't holding the lever. I was simply just pulling air straight out of the system, and a lot of it. And once I started doing that, I started getting pressure, and then the rest was downhill. It was super easy. Yeah, so I'm still going to work more out, but I got a ton out of it already, and I've got steel braided lines, so there's no flex in it even when it gets warm. So I'm very happy with the outcome here. I've got tons of stopping power. Downside is the front suspension is lacking extremely, so it's going to need some beefed up front springs because it dives, almost bottoms out now when I grab the front brake. As far as the rear brake setup, I've got some more XJ rotors here. These are off of Maxim. Well, it's just the single. I ordered the two for the front, ended up being too small a diameter, so I just used it on the rear. I've got the same caliper setup as the front on the rear here, and a steel braided line from whatever company this line is made from whoever bought it, who owned the bike before me. But it's on a stock rear master cylinder, and then the plan going forward for the rear brake setup is to run this master cylinder. This is off a 2016 Kawasaki Ninja 650, so that'll either have mounted to the frame or mounted to a rear set, but that's going to be tons of stopping power for the rear as well. And I've got a decent rear suspension already. So, well guys, I hope you dig it. It's a cool setup, kind of unique in the way that I ran the lines on the front, which was what I was going for. I wanted a clean right side of the bike, which I think I achieved pretty well. I'll eventually mount that line to the fork brace just to keep it steady, and then upgrade that front suspension. So I'll include some stuff in the description, useful links and whatnot. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. Like the video while you're at it, and subscribe to the channel to keep up on what I'm doing next to this bike. And as always guys, stay safe out there.